Your strong relationship helps you get back to your inner drive. Your strong relationship holds you accountable for the things that you want to do. Your inner drive is within you. That is what gets us up to take care of our children, our parents, our mothers, our siblings, our bills. The energy is another pillar of resilience. You brush your teeth. You make the decision to get up and keep going. That is energy. Some people say, I don't have the energy today. Yes, you do. You got dressed. You got in your car. You're doing half the battle. If you feel like you don't have the energy and it has depleted, press the reset button, because that is the resiliency piece in the 5 pillars of resilience. Maybe you need to call a strong relationship. Maybe you need to tap into some different energy. If this office space isn't working for you, change your location. Work outside. Ditch your desk for a minute. Change the energy that is around you. Be the energy that is around you. Be the light. I think about my coaching and my clients. I've had 3. I started my coaching business maybe 3 years ago, if that.
It was 3.
It was 3. And within that, I knew that I had a gift. I've always been great at taking care of people. I've always been a people person. I've always had great customer service. So I changed it and made it work for me. I bet on myself. During the pandemic, 2020, businesses closed, my business merged. Some people didn't make the cut, meaning some people didn't make the merge. I did. I've been on my place of business for 17 years, meaning I made the merge. My son was born. I'm a first-time mother. He is 5. I am 42. During that time, I had a full-time job for 11 years. They closed, AKA merged. Then my position needed to change. I just had a baby. I had Affleck. I had all the things in place, and then the business closed. Then the pandemic happens. So everything I put in place didn't matter because the world shut down. But I had to tap into my resilience. I had to tap into my inner drive because my son was coming, and I was prepared. I got the right man. I waited. I was older. I didn't rush. But then the pandemic happened, and I still had to go. My mom couldn't help me raise my son. I didn't have Big Mama. I had to do it alone in the house with a mask on. I persevered through. I had a vehicle. I started to DoorDash to get money for a candle business that I thought of. DoorDashing with my son, DoorDashing with my fiance, getting extra money, then turned into a full-fledged business. I was doing candle workshops for $55 a head. I started doing parties. Soy wax candles was concrete rose candle. I was in stores on the main line. I bet on myself. I used the 5 pillars of resilience. I landed in the magazine. I continued to bet on myself. I remind you, I have an associate's degree. Experience, grit, tenacity, beautiful mentors like Cheryl. When people pour into you, allow them to. Everybody in here is betting on themselves today. Everybody in here has a product. You have a gift to share. Bet on you. We talk about, again, a client who is actually here today, who is not only a client, who is now a guru in the resiliency tribe. This gentleman that I'm speaking of will speak to you as well, but he was in a way, if you will. He had come from, or was battling some demons on the inside, and I had to remind him through the 5 pillars of resiliency who he was, and to dust his shoulders off and to keep going. I had to remind this individual that he was in manager positions before. I had to remind this individual where he's come from, the good stock, his family, his loins. When the world beats you down, you need a strong relationship to pick you up. You need to be reminded of your inner drive. So this particular individual that I'm speaking of was pretty low. Needed to be loved on. Not only loved on, but reminded. The 5 pillars of resiliency is not my journey, it is your journey. It is the journey that I accompany you on. If you set a goal, let's crush the goal. What do you want to do? I want to help people. How do you help people? Send the email. Make yourself seen. Have the moment, dust yourself off, and get back up and keep going. Because you told me you want to help people, so help people. Why? You want to help the trans community? Stand up and help the trans community. How do you do that? You advocate. How do you do that? You align your thoughts with your goals, with your passion, and you bet on yourself. When Juan took the time to pour into him, when Juan took the time to take a step back and reflect on the things that he's accomplished in his life, he said, wait a minute, I got this. Let me dust my shoulders off. Let me stand tall and get it done. When you want to see change, you will see change. People you may be surrounded by people who are not cheering for you, and that is okay. Because there's somebody that is. And if you need a resiliency coach to cheer for you, I'm that young lady. We will get through this together. We can be transparent together. We can cry together, but you won't get excuses. Today, coming in, my dog was sick. My cousin doesn't live close to me. My fiance was going through what he was going through. I didn't know if I was going to bring my son, but I still showed up for myself. I didn't want to disappoint Cheryl. I didn't want to disappoint these vendors. And you persevere. Because this message, whether it be this, that, or the third, resonated with someone in this room. And it was meant to happen. It was meant to be. And when you show up for yourself, you never know what comes from that. You know, trial and error. Be that great person that your mom told you that you could be. Be that great person that your teacher reminded you to be. Whether you were 5, 6, 10, somebody poured into you at some point. And that's what you lean on. And if you can't, look for me. You can Google me. I'll help you. I'll accompany you. I'll remind you who you are. I'll pick a pillar. There's 5 of them. Strong relationships, future focus, flexible thinking. That changes your mindset when you flexible think. When someone tells you you're not, I'm going to tell you you are. Tell yourself you are. Excuse me, I need a tissue. Wipe my notes. Give me some sanitizer in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, the 5 pillars of resilience have saved lives. The next speaker after me will take you through a journey of what it did for him. I'm so thankful this individual allowed me to pour into him. I'm so thankful that his life was saved using the 5 pillars of resilience. I'm not great talking about myself, so I may not give it the justice that it deserves. But the 5 pillars of resilience, again, has changed lives, have made it into magazines. I have podcasted. I'm a podcast host. It is out. It's out there. The Resiliency Tribe is around, and I thank you all for giving me this time. I was a little tongue-tied because I'm a little nervous, but I showed up for myself. And the story that you're going to hear after me will put into perspective what exactly the 5 pillars did for him, where it led him in his life today as an entrepreneur. So not only did it save his life, it budded his business. So the 5 pillars of resilience, what are they? Strong relationships, flexible thinking, remaining future focused, tapping into that inner drive, and energy. I'll repeat it, and then I'll pass the mic to Michelle for the next intro. Or I can go ahead and intro. Perfect, perfect segue. The 5 pillars of resilience are, again, find yourself a strong relationship. I found Cheryl. I found my cousin Juan. Energy. The energy it took to brush your teeth is the energy you need to start your day, because you made a decision to do that. And that's how you show up for yourself. Inner drive. That's what gets you going. You want to be a millionaire? How do you do that? Inner drive. Find something. The old saying is, I can sell water to a well. Do it. Use that inner drive and get it done. Wow, where am I at?
Future focus.
Future focus. Remain future focused. Remain your eyes on the prize. What was the other one?
Flexible thinking.
Flexible thinking, change your mindset. What was the other one?
You got them all.
I got them all. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for your time. You can clap. At this time, I'll be introducing Tawan Nafis. Tawan Nafis is not only my cousin, he is a resiliency guru.